Welcome, everybody, to episode 118 of the Perpetual Backlog podcast. I'm your host, Aqua. And joining me, like always, Dalit. And Leek.
Hi.
All right. What we do this week, boys? I have a very short list of things that I did, so
I have
we'll go last.
I pleased the Todd Howard.
Oh.
You bought Skyrim again?
I got Skyrim again. No, I got Skyrim. I actually installed mods and stuff this time because I did mention it last week.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So I did play. So I installed the two mods, but one was technically an extension of the other.
Oh.
It's an alternate start or life mod, so you don't have to
good.
do the you finally woke up thing, right? You can actually start in a different place with different reasons to be in Skyrim. At first I did like a whole, you can randomize it as well. I woke up and I was a soldier in an army that basically is sworn to the storm. What's his faces? What are they called? I can't remember. The Viking people.
The Stormwatch?
No,
Stormcloaks.
That's it. Yeah. I was like, big on that. So I restarted. Actually, no, with that first one, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm always a fucking Argonian. I love those lizard people. But this time, I'll be a dark elf, right? I'll be...
And I have to ask this.
What?
Were you previously a lusty Argonian maid?
That has been mentioned.
Lusty Argonian maid.
No, but I'll get back to that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and I was like, Stormcloaks. Urif is a twat. Right. Yeah, because like they have the Grey Quarter and shit as well. It's like of all the places as a dark elf. I'm like one of those people that just drafted in just to please, like, I'm not a racist, I have these friends type of deal, right? Ridiculous. Really, I was the quota draft. So yeah, ridiculous. So I was wandering around the Grey Quarter, which is interesting actually, just to talk to the NPCs there, and you can see like their side of things. And yeah I was like, Eurif is a twat times a million. Yeah, they're not great people, the Stormcloaks. They're horrible. They are so bad. Yeah, so I restarted again. This time I was I gave in. I'm an Argonian again.
Let's go.
Yeah, I made a cute little derpy Argonian lad called Duck, and I made him look like a duck as much as I could.
Fantastic.
He was shipwrecked off north of Dust Star. Very, very far north. The northest you can go on the map, I think. So really,
location.
Off the coast, fucking freezing, in a sunken ship. But luckily, I'm an Argonian, so I don't need to worry about breathing underwater.
True.
Because I can. So yeah, just grabbed a load of loot, went to the closest location where there's people, and then ignored the main quest completely. I haven't even touched it yet. That's just
how you play Skyrim.
That's just how you play Skyrim, right? So far, I dragged my ass to the nearest inn, in my head. Oh, it's freezing, and get warm and stuff, right? And then this NPC goes, you'll help me lift this curse of this whole town. You'll do. Come with me.
Yeah,
so I went up to
fair enough.
Yeah, it's like the nightmare shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually fun to do. But as a level 1 random person, it was
maybe a little
tricky.
less fun. Fair.
It was tricky, but I did it with a few like quick saves and kiting. Yeah, this is one orc barbarian guy that's really hard to kill. He literally one-shots me all the time. So I had to kite him as the other dude was like blasting him with fireballs. That's how I did that.
Squish.
I did like the that dream walking stuff though. That was cool. You basically drink this potion that puts you in a dream of someone else, and you talk and act like them, but you can basically experience their past. That was cool. And
Wait,
it sort of
that's
teleports you
cyberpunk.
at the same time as well. You end up in a different location.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it was basically to do with a puzzle. That wasn't really a puzzle. You just walked to A to B. But
Very
yeah, and then had
complicated.
to destroy the evil skull. There was a moment where you could actually choose to betray the NPC and take the skull for yourself. But no, Duck's a good lad. He's a good boy, so he'd never do that. He'd never do that.
It's a good duck.
What else did I do? Oh yeah, I randomly bumped into some Khajiit that were just wandering around. They were like, "Hey, I lost my necklace. My deceased mother gave it to me, and it's the only thing that reminds me of her and home." I was like, "Oh, it's so sad." So I went on this huge adventure just to try to locate this necklace, and I realized that this wandering group, they're merchants, and they literally wander all over Skyrim. So I was like, "Where the
Yes.
fuck are you now?"
It's funny you should mention that. The first time I ran
Yeah,
into that roving group of Khajiit, they
yeah.
were, in fact, just outside us. So
Oh, yeah,
that was,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was the first time I noticed them. So I didn't actually realize they moved all that far.
Mhm.
Khajiit has
Yeah,
wings.
I ended up walking all the way to Riften.
Oh, on foot?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's where they
okay.
were. So I walked
I'm on
all
the
the way to
road to
Riften.
Riften
Now
City.
yeah, and because you can't really fast travel unless you've been there before, I had to walk. But I really liked walking, so that was fine.
Wait, isn't there a coach that'll just take you around the different places if you have
Yeah,
a...
but I wanted to explore.
Okay, that's fair
Yeah, I'm
enough.
sure there's like a coach. There is a coach in every big city, right? But no, I ended up running everywhere. But along my adventures, I found lots of different places. There was this small, mining community that was started by an ex-adventurer. So I did stuff for her, which was to kill this bandit leader that was basically causing trouble. And I got a really cool bow from that person too. That was great.
Nice.
She can also be like a companion too. She's basically like, I used to be an adventurer, and now this mining person. I'm really bored. My husband's boring. Hey, can I come with
My
you?
husband's boring.
That's
Oh
what she
no.
said. That's what she said. My
I love him
husband
to
is
death, but he's boring as
he's
sin. You
really
want to go on an
boring, and
adventure?
he doesn't want me doing adventuring stuff again. So can I just do stuff with you? Yeah, so that like, and once I found the Khajiit, he also wanted to be a companion as well, and also that you'll do person that I helped save the town from the curse from. So I got 3 possible companions so far. I was told there's like a werewolfy person around the initial place
Yes.
you go to where
Yes.
Skyrim is. You know
There is.
when you play vanilla Skyrim, you're taken to what's it called? Where you meet that
Whiterun.
Jarl?
White Run.
Huh? Whiterun, that's it.
Whiterun, yes.
Yeah, I can't find them. I'm trying to find them because I want to start that werewolf quest so
Oh, they'll
bad.
be in the guild. Oh,
In the guild?
I believe they'll be in the
Yeah.
guild. I forget the guild's name, but it's the one
Is
with
it in
all the...
Whiterun?
Yeah, it's in Whiterun.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll go back then. Yeah, so I'm doing that. What else? Oh yeah, I found this random cave, and if you don't like spiders, don't go there because it takes you down into this cavern, and it's really pretty. You look up and there's the sky, and then at the bottom there's it's like a corkscrew type of staircase, and then you go deeper and deeper, and
And
yeah,
there's giant spiders.
there's a big ass giant spider that I noped immediately out of there because I realized I wasn't strong enough to defeat this spider. I was like, "Fuck! Nope, nope, nope! Run, run, run!" It chased me nearly out the whole cavern. Um,
Oh
so
man,
yeah,
she
I'll
she
go back
took issue
later.
with you being in her domain.
Oh my god, it was terrifying because that spider's really detailed.
Ugh.
You see that right up close. It's taller than me. That's horrible. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back there. Go back there later. There's another. I have to find in Duckstar. There's also. Let's see. I've still got a few quests there. I've got to find a nice a ring that this nice old alchemist lady wanted for her late husband, and she wants it just to remind her, her of him. So I'm like, oh, that's really sweet. I'll help you, old lady. But there's like this Spriggan, and a Spriggan is like a earth elemental humanoid thing, and that ganked me immediately. So I'm going back there later. What else?
Fair,
There's
fair.
also there's also this young ship captain that wants the respect of his crew, but on one of his merchant runs, the crew got really drunk and threw out all the salt from this shipment, and he in a cave, and he wants he wants the salt back. So I have to go find that at some point. What else? I guess I want to look in Riften too, because I haven't actually gotten to go there yet, not properly. So I'll go back to Riften at some point. I'm currently in Breton. I found the drug den. I was like, "What's this?
yes,
These
skooma.
scuba?" Yeah, I know. I was like, I went up to this little encampment. I was like, "Oh, that's nice. They're very friendly for people that usually attack me on site, and they're very polite." Okay. Oh, they asked me to go down into the cellar. All right, that's okay. They asked nicely. I'll do that. And then it's like, what's all this purple mist? Oh, it's skooma. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye for now. Actually,
Goodbye
funnily enough,
for now.
goodbye for
No.
now. Funnily enough, one of the life starts you can do for this mod is you wake up in a skooma den from your drug from your
Yeah.
drug
Yeah, that checks out.
stuff. Like you can crawl your ass out of there and try to make your life or earn money for more skooma.
We're hard restart.
Yeah, that's one of the options. Yeah, so I'm currently in the Breton area. I realized there's like this farm with a really annoying herb that makes an annoying noise. It's like it's
Oh, yeah, where it screams,
it
essentially.
does. And this lady's farming them. I was like, what are you doing? I couldn't stay there for long. It was so annoying.
Don't sleep where you work, that's for certain.
Really? But her house is right there. So yeah, she wants me to look for some certain grapes to help her farm. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that, I guess. Oh, oh
Yes.
yeah. No. So on the way to, I think it was Whiterun. Yeah, it was. There's this. I came across this cart and this person couldn't go on because their wheel was broken.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and he looked nice. He seemed nice. He was a jolly old jester.
They always.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't
Was it Cicero
understand.
or something? Yeah,
Cicero, yeah.
yeah, Cicero. So I was like, oh, he seems nice. He seems
I've
jolly.
never
He
run
was
into him without starting the Dark Brotherhood questline, though, so that's interesting.
That's how you
Yeah,
start the Dark
no.
Brotherhood questline.
No, I've
Yeah.
always started it by killing someone for the kid, and then they give me a warning that's just a handprint saying "We know."
No, I just randomly bump into Cicero, and he's like, on the
Alright.
road, broke it. He wants to bury his dead mother. How
Yeah.
sad. How
He's
tragic.
not one. He's
How
not.
tragic. I know. I
Okay.
know. I've seen fan art of this character. I know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Cicero's something else, and so is the mother.
Cicero. Yeah, no. So like, oh, he wants to bury his dead mother, Duck says to himself. So he wanders up to the farmer. Oh my goodness, this farmer's awfully rude to this poor person who just wants to bury his dead mother. I will convince this farmer to fix his wheel. And I did. So there you go. Cicero gets to bury his
Duck's a
dead
good lad.
mother.
Duck doesn't know what he's done, though.
Silly Duck. Yeah, so off he goes. I'll guess I'll bump into him somewhere else.
Almost certainly.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I actually, of all people like shitting on Skyrim, it actually has a lot of fun playing if you don't really,
Yeah.
if you just do it, run around.
It doesn't even require the mods. Like, there's so much in there, and then you add
Yeah,
mods, and you have so much more fun to be had.
yeah. I think that's basically what I did this week.
Yeah, too fair. Too fair.
Yeah, besides the Dark and Darker last week, but
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there you go. That's it.
Nice. It's been a dead week in Arknight, so I haven't really done much other than, just farm more money, because that's my life. Other than that, I got further into 10. I'm up to farming stuff for the Colosseum. So, I mean, I'm mostly just playing that for mindless grinding as it is. God, I love that game. I recognize that 10 may not be the best Final Fantasy as far as everyone is concerned, but god's damn do I love listening to it. I love the cheesy dialogue. I absolutely adore the music. I like the game system. This is the best RPG system. Turn-based, conditional-based, correct. It's why Battle Chasers was good. It's why Ruined King was good.
It's also why Trails is good.
It's also why Trails is good. See? Common theme. Excellent, excellent turn-based system. Other than that, Ali was chatting about RO, so that led me to a different Discord with Tara and Mel, wherein I saw they were also doing RO stuff, so I poked my nose in there because
Ragnarok Online?
I missed Ragnarok
Mm.
Online growing
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
Like, it was something that I was very much aware of because, like, all my friends were playing it.
Yeah.
But I was out being too good for that, doing sport and stuff. So I figured, you know what? Yeah, I'll give that a cheeky little look through. It's sprite based, so it'll have aged really well. Completely ignoring the fact that it's going to be an old Korean MMO.
Grindfest.
So yeah, based on just the way it looks, it still looks lovely. It's a lovely little game. It is grindy,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks nice. So that's a thing that happened, and I'll pop in there and let them shepherd me around. There's a server that is making the grind non-existent, which is nice. But more than anything, I've just mostly sat around looking up stuff about Wild Hearts because
Debating.
I watched Sly play it, and I clicked a
yeah.
certain thing that it made me giggle
Oh,
because you
yeah.
know me, I'm really a big sucker for for silly glitches and stuff. I mean, I'm playing
Of which there
Skyrim.
are plenty, yeah.
I have been jettisoned into the air, by the way, by a giant.
Oh yeah, you have to go up
Yeah.
to
So
like 6
funny.
miles.
But yeah, no. Wild Heart. It looks pretty.
It's- yes,
Eh?
like there's this weird thing where I'm so used to like games looking nice nowadays. Everyone's singing the praises of this game aesthetically. I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
It certainly is. I actually genuinely am not overly in love with the monster designs. Um, they're they are at least very different from like Monster Hunter, which is brilliant. Like you don't want your nearest competitor to also be like every single comparison.
Mhm.
It does stand on its own in that regard. Like it sets stuff apart physically. But I don't know. I like I just wasn't too wowed by the monster designs. Upside, I actually don't get. I don't. As much as it sounds like I do, I don't care. I'm still gonna hunt them.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, I mean, it does just look like a Monster Hunter, but faster with less lockout.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Play plays more like Dauntless, it seems like.
Yeah. Well, actually, so funny enough, I don't think it's as free as Dauntless. I think like it's the middle
Oh,
ground between the two.
yeah.
Like, because where Dauntless felt like, with maybe the exception of one weapon, you really weren't locked into any full attack. Like that wasn't what was going to get you hit.
Yeah, yeah.
And Monster Hunter's like, it doesn't matter what you do, you're doing that until you're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
This feels like the middle ground, which is good. I think this is going to be a series that, if it gets its shit together and is like truly playable, will be an alternative for folks that they like Monster Hunter, but they don't love how certain aspects of this game are 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for me, it's just more Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Like, so I very much want this to do well. I want to pop in really the things that have been selling me on this game are the weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do not care about the story. The story's gonna be the exact same as Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Oh
it seems
no,
like it.
big thing. Yeah. Oh no,
No,
big
actually,
thing. Go hunt big thing,
you say
please.
that as well. When I was watching Sly, you know the whole Magna Mala thing, right? Where it's like, brr, brr, like giant.
Yes. And then you saw the bear, right? And you're like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
oh, it's
The
just
Zora Magdaros.
Zora
Yeah.
Magdaros.
Magnarit, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Magnemar is the big cat. But yeah, it's just
Yeah,
Zora
sorry.
Magdaros. And then you see
Yeah,
the
Magdaros.
Kuma. I don't know what the bear's name is. You're like, yeah, all right. I already know what to do here. I see.
Yeah. Oh, now he's sleepy. Oh. I don't wanna. I will say the character customization seems good.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, yeah, because I've heard a lot of people say this
It's better
negatively,
than which
which
Monster
confuses me.
Hunters.
Well, yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. But a lot of people have said like this negatively. It's like it's just reusing Neo assets. To which my first thought was, no, wait, hold on.
And
Hold
question
on.
mark?
The Neo character generator was really good. Shut up.
Mhm.
Hold on a second.
Yeah,
This is the correct use of your own library.
yeah, Neo 2
This
character creator was really good.
this
Yeah.
is how you use stuff you've already made. So I've gotten a big old giggle about that because I mean I don't know I'm genuinely weird in between work. I will go to the Steam discussion board and just see what inane nonsense is on that, and it's always the worst. Anyone who says Reddit is the dregs of society does not ever go to the Steam discussion boards.
Oh.
I mean, they also don't go to 4chan.
Facts, facts. But yeah, like no, it's why like Reddit can't phase me. Reddit seems so normal by comparison. So naturally, yeah, when I had like this secondary boost of interest in Wild Hearts, I went there to see what people were thinking about it because I don't know, I needed a laugh, I guess. I got there. There's the usual things. There's performance issues. Wire game $70. I'd like to talk about that in future weeks.
Mhm.
Is it worth it? Blah blah blah. And until I finally got to people who were just having opinions and weren't just being angry. And yeah, like it seems like this is a nice middle ground, and people are enjoying the battle system. And Lord knows I want to get my hand on that Katakuri pole. Phrasing, I know, but it's really cool. Trust me.
Haha.
So I mean, yeah, I've spent a surprising amount of time like debating on whether or not to get a game. I'm just gonna get it. I just don't know when at this point. Yeah, that's
like,
the end of that's the end of the story. Other than that, it's just been anime.
No, like I said, when you get it, I'll get it.
I mean, yeah, it just for me it comes down to, do I get it on PC? My PC is finally starting to. I don't even think that's true. I think Wild Hearts is just piss poor optimized. I don't think that's.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
I don't think that's a big thing to say right now. My
No.
computer can run Monster Hunter World fucking flawlessly, 140 some odd frames. So I don't actually think my computer's getting out of date. But this game's just so interestingly put together, let's say, that I'm actually at like the min specs for it in terms of my CPU. And given that seems to be where the focus of the throttling is, I do worry about that. I have a 3070 Ti. My GPU is fine. I have 16 gigs. Yeah, 16 gigs of RAM. That's fine. Excuse me, fine. If I need more, I'll get more, but it won't be for this game. But I am throttled by the Ryzen 5 I have, and it's a 2600. So that is something I've been meaning to upgrade for a while.
Yeah, it's weird. Cause I'm the one here that has played the 10-hour demo or trial
Yep.
Yeah.
of Wild Hearts. That game definitely runs like ass on our CPU because I have the same CPU you do. I don't have the same graphics card that you do, but like that actually shouldn't be a problem. My 2060 should be able to run this game.
Your 2060 should be fine.
Should be fine. The issue is that this game is very terribly optimized. And I've had to do a lot of fixes just to give myself like at least 40 frames.
The fixes have been bizarre. So I hear that it's a threading issue or that it was only using one core of the CPU. So once that opens up, I suspect we will actually be fine. Our CPU is still relevant. We should be able to get to at least 60, frankly, further. But again, this game's been put together in such a weird way. I've seen people be validated, by the way, in changing audio settings and seeing a boost in frame rate. I don't know what you have to do to screw up so that your audio is dropping frames for you, but it's been wild. Yeah, so one of the big fixes that first came out and that gut instinct is to laugh at them because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it was found out that it's true, and you will actually see an increase in frame rate, is to switch your audio from stereo to either 5.1 or 7.1. I can't even figure out why that works.
That is
I
really
should try
good.
that actually. I should try
Like
that.
I genuinely can't. It's why I suspect that the minimum specs probably are false. And honestly, you can. I mean, for a lot of games, you can play below the minimum spec. But
there is no reason the minimum spec should be where they are at for this game. This game, yes, it is a very big open world. All right, I will grant it that. But
it's great, yeah, I do like.
So are other games that I've played on my PC, and they run just absolutely fine. This game is no graphical marvel. This game does not look like a next-gen game. It looks about maybe as highly like graphically polished as maybe Neo 1 in between Neo 2. There is no reason that my PC should chug the way it does in this game.
It's super confusing. But yeah, like every day that passes, we know that there's a patch coming that will actually fix the core issue. But every day that goes by, there's like a new fix that people are adding that boosts FPS a little bit more. So I'm just sitting back giggling over this. And at the end of the day, like I'm gonna absolutely lay into this game for a lot of the things that just don't make sense about it. But it's a Monster Hunter game, not the series, but the genre. So yeah, I'm interested. I played Tokiden. I wasn't in love with it at all, but I played it, and I played God Eater because I was literally sold as it's Monster Hunter but RPG story. I was like, cool.
No way.
First of all, they lied to me. Second of all, no, not great. I've put myself through worse games in a similar genre. This game is going to be good once they fix it. I just hope it's good enough that it gets that the series actually takes off, and that they actually like iterate. I know it's easy to say this, that they could have just looked at Monster Hunter and they would have been fine, but Monster Hunter has like again 20 years of iterations and fixes.
Yeah.
Anyone who didn't play the first two generations don't understand what true jank is. Let me tell you, those monsters had no stamina. Zero stamina. They could just keep going, and the tracking was insane.
They had infinite stamina, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, zero, but like also infinite. Yeah, it was crazy. So this game is already off to a great start. It's gonna iterate. It'll get better. And at this point, it's just am I buying it on PC or PS5?
Yeah, when the I know when the performance patch comes out, I still have like 6 hours left on the trial.
Thank you, because you're gonna be my testing.
Yeah, so I'll re-download it again, and if it has the patch, I will test it out and see how all right it may run. Maybe, hopefully, it fixes everything. Honestly,
right on. But yeah, that'll actually bring what I did this week to an end. What did you get up to?
Well, as I said, I played that 10-hour, or I played like 4 hours of that 10-hour trial of Wild Hearts. I mean, it's fun. Like, I mean, if anybody wants to know what I think of like what I played or whatever, they can just actually kind of go watch Ralph's review of the game. He has a pretty good review of it. But it boils down to he wishes he could recommend this game at the moment because he's having so much fun with it. But he's tested it out on three different PCs or whatever, and all three of them still ran like ass. I think his most powerful one, he got 70 frames consistent.
I mean,
and that's like a
70
4090.
but yeah, I see. I know what his upper rig is, and that's crazy.
Yeah. So, so yeah. I mean, I enjoyed my time with it. The weapons that I tried were pretty fun. So, it's good. It has a very good foundation. They just need to make sure the studs that are put into this foundation can actually hold it up. So, damn, what did I do? I mean, I played a little bit of Cold Steel 4 this week. Ever so slightly getting through this English version. For anybody that knows, I've beaten like the Japanese version like 3 times or whatever. So like the English version is just like I have to get through it because if I don't, then I've just never done the English version. I did learn, and this is going to be spoilers for anybody for the Trail series, but so back when I played the Japanese version, I noticed that the seiyuu that voiced Marcel Nielsen was the same seiyuu that voices the first Anguis in the post-credit cutscene after you beat the game. All right, I was like, this sounds oddly familiar. I was like, okay, well, I looked it up. He also it's not the same VA that voiced the first Anguis and Marcel in the Sky. They apparently changed the VA, but the VA that voiced Marcel is still the same VA that voices the first Anguis in Sky the Third. So like the VAs are like they're still overlapping. All right, and then I was like, okay, all right, this is how I'm going to test this out. All right, so I went and looked up behind the voice actors for Cold Steel 4. Ian Sinclair, who voices Toval, voices Marcel Nielsen and the first Anguis. So I'm like, okay, this is 100%. This guy's the fucking first Anguis. 100%. There's no way. There's no way. He's gonna. I bet you he's gonna be in fucking Kuro 3, and he's always in the last game of the series. The last game of like the individual series. He was in Sky Third. He was in the Trails to Azure. And he was in Cold Steel 4. So he's gonna be in Kuro 3. I guarantee it. With the climax or whatever, he's just gonna be there. He's gonna probably interview fucking interview Van or Vaughn. Yeah. Call him Van, like fucking Master Van.
Van. Van. So first Anguis, right? What's significant about?
So Ouroboros is a society within the Trail series. They're pretty much the main antagonistic force in the entire series. And their structure is they have the Grandmaster who runs Ouroboros. The Grandmaster has 7 Anguises directly under her. All right, and these Anguises are like, I guess, managers, or whatever. That's like but they're like there's like super powerful and very influential through the world of Zermoria. And then you have I think at the moment there are 16 or 17 enforcers. Enforcers are like the footmen of Ouroboros. They go out. They normally listen to what Anguis they're under directions, but they're also just allowed to do anything that they want to do. They're not like They don't have to listen to their Anguis if they want to just like go do whatever they can just like relax.
And some of them won't.
And then some of them won't. Yeah. So the first Anguis has been shown throughout the series. Like they normally do a cutscene where they're in this place called the Astral Globe. And this is pretty much where the higher ups of Ouroboros like talk to each other with the Grandmaster. And so he's been like they've shown the cutscene with him and Sky Third. I don't think there's a first Anguis cutscene in the Crossbow games, but there's one after Cold Steel 4 after the credits, and then there's another one at the not at the end of Reverie, but it's one of the side like things that you can view in Reverie. Anyway, voice actors are the same across the board. This motherfucker Nielsen, he's been everywhere. He's been in the climax of Third, and not the climax of Third. He's been in one of the Star Doors in Third. He's in the climax of Zero or Azure, and he's in the climax of Cold Steel. He is a blind reporter. He's blind. Mm-hmm. He walks around with a cane. I guarantee he's not fucking blind. The guy motherfucker's got like eye powers or something like that. Or he could be blind. Or he could be blind and just like a god, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And he knows way too much because he in Cold Steel 4 he's like asking about the Black records and all the stuff that happened in the past and all that stuff because which no normal person would know about. He's like sitting in a room talking to Thomas. Like, I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, Falcom's done this a lot with us. They did it in Sky, where there's a traveling fucking researcher throughout Sky first chapter, who ends up being the baddie for the Sky series. I don't think there is a twist character for Crossbell, but there is a twist character for actually the first half of Cold Steel, and then there's also a twist character for the second half of Cold Steel. So, yeah, Falcom does this a lot, and I guarantee you this motherfucker is going to be in Kuro 3, and when he does pop up, I'm like, I'm watching you. I know. They're either going to reveal him to be the first Anguis in Kuro 3, or they're going to fucking keep teasing us again.
And either way, it'll be your problem, Spriggan.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been doing that. I'm about to do the first of the rivalries in Cold Steel 4, so I'm like, I'm on the second half of Cold Steel 4. I'm like actually kind of slightly near the end. But I'm actually just playing that game to make sure to beat everybody I can in Vantage Masters. I'm actually pretty much a god. I just beat Sarah at it. But she almost killed me. My fucking MasterCard only had 2 HP left at the end, but she ran out of cards, and I had cards on the map, so she couldn't attack me. So fuck her. What else did I do? Oh, I was playing Theater Rhythm with D earlier today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed actually.
Oh.
So they have two types of modes. They have online versus mode, all right? Which now that I'm now that we've done it, it's like it's okay. You just got to make sure to turn bursts off, because bursts or whatever, it's when you like hit a certain like combo or like you get through certain
like Tetris.
You can like you can like attack the other player, so you got to turn burst off. But you get to pick a song, and the other player gets to pick a song, and it'll pick one of the two out of the 2 or the 4 that you can have in the lobby. And then you play the song. Like everybody that's in the lobby plays the song, and whoever has the highest points wins or whatever. but your characters do get experience for playing against other people. So like, I mean, you can level off your characters by doing that. They have another mode, and it's called pair mode. All right. Now we were hoping that you could do pair mode online. You can, but all right, it's not how you think.
This is a local. Oh, you can. I see. Never mind.
So you can. All right, but there's fat quotations on you can. All right. Pair mode is actually just a single screen. But you have to play locally with the player that's on your side. All right. So in pair mode, it's so in pair mode, it splits the track. All right. The bottom two track notes are second player. The top two track notes are first player. All right.
Yeah, I was speaking with Dean. He had explained that much.
Yeah. So in the online mode, you can do that, but it's not with the other person in the lobby with you. You can do paired mode. You can do like couch co-op paired mode against somebody online who's doing couch co-op paired mode with somebody else. So like it could be me and like if I have somebody else here with me versus D and somebody else. But it can't be me and D just doing paired mode with each other online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was a bit disappointing, but we just went and like did just the verses, and it didn't matter like who won because we were just playing songs.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean it's fun. I mean I love Theatrhythm. Theatrhythm is fucking. That game is addicting. I find myself like when I go to play it hours later I'm just like one more song.
Yeah, I am not a rhythm game person, but like this plays to my biases in terms of I love Final Fantasy music. So at some point I'll probably pick this up just to have as a mindless play on the medium difficulty. I don't see myself going up to like was it ultimate or whatever.
Ultimate is okay, so if I had to compare like between like Guitar Hero difficulties to this, Supreme would be expert. All right. That would be the highest difficulty. That difficulty is hard as fuck.
As a matter of fact.
It is extremely hard. And ultimate I would assume would just be ultimate difficulty is hard mode. All right. It gives you some like some pretty fucked up patterns, I'll say.
Yeah, it sure does.
But nothing I couldn't like do if I sat there and played the song like 20 billion times over again. Right? And then eventually fucking like full comboing it. Then there's expert. All right? Not to get it twisted with Guitar Hero or Rock Band expert. That expert is medium. It's like medium difficulty. It's not. If I sat there for like maybe like a day and a half or whatever and just played every song in a row on expert, I could probably full combo every song. Or close to every song. And then the difficulty under that is like a super easy difficulty. So, yeah, I play on Ultimate. I don't ever foresee myself like I might try some songs on Supreme, but I don't ever foresee myself being able to play a lot of those songs on Supreme. I've seen Happy play those songs, and oh my god, one I don't understand how Happy was actually like a rhythm game god. He played what is it? He played DDR and like all those games like arcade DDR and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was way into those games. I was just into Guitar Hero and stuff, so like, I mean, if I was able to translate this to an actual like a guitar or whatever, and like do it well, I'd probably actually do pretty well in this game. But there'd be no way to code it like that. God, did I play anything else? Ooh, actually, my chill game, which is gonna bounce back and forth between Theater Rhythm and Vampire Survivors.
Too right.
Yeah, they've added a bunch of stuff. I don't know when I bought the DLC for Vampire Survivors, but I apparently bought the DLC for Vampire Survivors. It's only $2. So, I mean, but they added a bunch of stuff into it.
Oh, cool.
I've been when you go to the character select screen, it gives you the list of maps that there are, and it has like a checkbox or whatever on if you've completed this map with this character. And I have brain rot in my head, so I'm like, okay, I gotta complete this map with this character, and I'm on this one map, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I don't know if I'll ever beat it on the whip, because the whip is a horrible early game weapon, and horrible early game weapon, and I have to get like really good early game AOE fucking weapons to survive. Honestly, I think I've gotten like the almost 20 minutes in on that map, but like I haven't. It gets ridiculous. So, I don't think I have played anything else. Check on my Steam to see what I have downloaded. No, I didn't play anything else. I have to get through fucking Rise of 2 at some point in time, because Rise of 3 comes out sometime soon. Ugh. Yeah, that's all I did this week. Anime. I watched a lot of anime. I got through Kirk on a Basket again. That anime is good. I need to watch the movie now, because Dee's like, you gotta watch the movie. You gotta watch the movie. And I'm like, yeah.
Disappointing.
Yeah. Well, no, he actually wants to watch it with me, so.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
Little has forsaken us again. I don't know why. I don't know why he hasn't asked a question since January 31st. So
what the hell?
Come on, Little.
No, he's just this is his off month.
It's off month. Okay. All right. Yeah, whatever. Actually, I lied. He asked.
He'll be back stronger than ever come Paddy's Day.
All right.
I lied. Yes. Actually, he asked a question February 6th. So never mind. He asked a question on the Frosty episode. That was 2 weeks ago.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah. But we got some news, quote unquote news this week. It's some news, I guess. Yeah. The State of Play was announced this week. It's going to come out the day this episode comes out, so we will talk about it then. But they confirmed that it was going to be it's going to have 5 new PSVR 2 titles in it. And then they're going to focus on games from our third-party devs, which everybody's like, Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16.
It is the gut check move. There's plenty of times it doesn't need to be, but we desperately want it to be.
We want it to be.
Yeah, I know.
I suspect Capcom might throw us a bone with how close Resi's coming out.
True. That actually might be.
Yeah.
It might be one of the things. And it's going to be apparently 15 plus minutes of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
That is insane to me. 15 minutes of this State of Play is going to this delayed game. Oh boy. Hope it's good.
They did the same thing with because they gave us the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy fucking State of Play, where they gave us like 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay of that
was
game.
that a state of play? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was its own thing.
Oh, actually, no, I don't think that was a state. That was a Square Enix Presents.
Haha.
Yeah, actually. But I mean, they're all directs. So like, come on.
I mean, more or less, right? And this is going to be good because I think a lot of people have questions. Given, I think this game's been delayed twice now.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to see it. It's all going to be a bit choreographed, for lack of a better word. But it'll at least give you an idea of if this game's even up your alley.
Yep. Go back to the PSVR 2. I've heard good things about it, actually. It's supposed to be pretty good. Better than the current available
Is it even out yet?
VR. No, reviews. Reviews.
Oh, reviews.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
good to wear.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it wouldn't feel worse than the first iteration of PSVR. I mean, yeah, I we're still at a point where I'm not interested in VR. All right. We're not. I don't think we're making big enough like leaps in that technology.
I am, but there's a paywall for me.
That's
oh yeah,
my
true.
Interest is cut off because it's as much as the console itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love. I actually really am interested in VR, very much so. But it is a paywall for any headset.
Anything at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Oculus is the most approachable at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's still expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder when we'll ever get to a point where VR is like either one like relatively easy to get into, and two like companies are actually making like very huge strides in like the software for VR.
I suspect I know the answer to this. Someone's going to find a way to make games, or what do they call it? Experiences for VR in a very quick flow state, where you'll be able to have a quick turnover on the ideas. Once more things come out, that'll incentivize the companies to take a hit on the product. Same thing with consoles now. Sell it at a loss and just make it up through the experiences, quote unquote, or inevitably the good games that come from it. Because I think we're finally starting to get like games and not just playable experiences.
Yeah.
But it will take the pipeline being established and being polished.
Yeah.
Because in order to see sales on the same stage as the consoles, it has to be sold at a loss. Because it's worth too much. If let's assume that they're not selling it at a loss now, because I could be wrong. They could already be selling these at a loss. I doubt it, but assuming they're not, and they value, I think the PSVR was valued at about $500, $400 thereabouts.
Yeah, it's like 500.
They would have to sell it for like half that, maybe a little bit more than half that, because they have to incentivize people who presumably have already given them $400 to $500 for the PS5 as well.
Yeah.
So, the other way to go about it is for someone with infinite money, someone who got the infinite money glitch, to just screw up the industry and undercut everyone by a ridiculous amount. The problem with that is that product has to be good enough.
Yeah.
Because if it's just a lesser version of all the other products, it's just the cheap version that no one wants anyway.
I just want to be plugged in, man. I just want to be plugged in.
I want to experience it, but I also suspect that I don't get motion sickness or seasickness, but I get terrible vertigo. So I have a suspicion that I will not react well to VR.
Yeah, that's why I want full dive. That's just why I want full dive.
Oh yeah, if you want to just
experience that
and go like full Matrix and just like jack me in, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I want. I don't care if there's repercussions. thing overloads and I die. All right, I just want to see it.
So long as the steak tastes like steak.
True. True. Yeah. Let's see. What's next? Microsoft. Yeah. So the president, he tweeted. He announced that they've signed a 10-year binding contract with Nintendo. That, and I'm assuming it's if they get Activision Blizzard, to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo consoles the same day as Xbox and PS. Now, they could. What did you just Nintendo gamers gonna? Oh God.
It's gonna be the new Pokemon Snap. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a new Pokemon Snap. Now they could this contract could be that they help Activision to actually code it for the Nintendo console, whether they've gotten whether they went through with the purchase of Nintendo or purchase of Activision Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Or I wonder if this is set up on the president of if they actually buy Activision Blizzard that they will bring Call of Duty to Nintendo consoles.
Yeah, it's something I hadn't considered because we've known that Microsoft and Nintendo have had a working relationship for some years now.
Mm-hmm.
So them working together is not news. The news really was that it's finally in writing that there is a contract to bring the Xbox previously exclusive games to Nintendo. The real question is, what's the pricing structure going to be like?
Oh God. Also, so I mean, obviously, we all believe that we're on the very last year of the Switch. Next year is definitely when the next console gets announced, or maybe
I
this
definitely
year.
Agree with you. Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
So I guess it'll be okay if the next console for Nintendo is one that can actually play games like a high end Call of Duty.
Don't hold your breath, mate. The Switch sold so well. You're gonna get a Switch 2 in the truest sense of the word.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be lagging behind any of the current consoles by a considerable amount, but it will be good enough, and it'll be portable.
I would just like to see the contract that they signed. I wonder if the stipulation is if they actually get to be able to buy Activision Blizzard, or if it's because I don't understand how they do that without owning Activision Blizzard. Does Microsoft just come into Activision's fucking offices and be like, okay, we're here to code for the Switch? Because it's not Activision signing this contract; it's Microsoft.
So you're missing on a possibility. Mm-hmm. The possibility is that what this really does is allow Nintendo to stream Xbox games.
Why would you see that?
It gives you access to something like a Game Pass. So if it's on Game Pass, you can probably stream it or buy it in some circumstances if the Switch can run it natively. That way, I suspect that's how you get through all of this, whether you own Activision Blizzard or not. Because at that point, it's just Nintendo giving you money to stream your Game Pass service.
Hey, everybody saw what happened when Kingdom Hearts, the streaming Kingdom Hearts came out, right? Everybody
for a second said it was a good thing. Oh no.
Everybody saw how bad that was. All right. You can't do that and play a multiplayer game. That's just horrible. That's not going to work. Japan is the only country that has that type of internet structure that it could work on.
Well, no, I think there's certain Northern European countries that could get away with it, but to your point, yeah, this isn't gonna work in the bigger markets, I don't think.
Yeah, no. America's infrastructure is nowhere near good enough for that. People that had like really good internet tried playing Kingdom Hearts streamable, and honestly, that game should be able to run natively on the Nintendo Switch.
I was so surprised when they said it was streamed like Kingdom Hearts 1, really? You couldn't just put that on the platform? Thing's
Really?
ancient. I think you could play. I think if you beef up a Game Boy, you could play it on it.
Like, I mean, I attributed that 1 and 2 couldn't be on the Switch just because they're probably using the remastered versions,
100%.
and the remastered versions are technically the PlayStation 3 versions of the game.
Yes.
So technically they were like one was re put together just specifically for the PS3 version, because they didn't have the source material, the source code for it anymore. So I guess I understood that, but I still honestly think that like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 could have easily have ran on the Switch. Yet you have to stream them, and it's I just and I've seen people that I know has probably pretty good internet try to play those on the Switch, and it's not good.
And I've said this down this road. I certainly have no insider information. Maybe they don't do a streaming service, but that just to me seems
no, that makes more sense. That actually makes
the most sensible way that they're going to get around this.
Yeah, that actually makes sense because that is the only way Call of Duty comes out the same day as Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, like genuinely, I think in that regard, like that is the only way that works.
Yeah, that's the only way it works. That sucks. Well, that's what you get for being Nintendo.
I don't think they mind.
Yeah, I don't think they mind either. But that's what Nintendo players get for playing stuff on Nintendo. Don't play Call of Duty on the Switch. Don't play Call of Duty on whatever the next Switch is.
I also want to support things like Metroid 4 and Tears of the Kingdom, but don't play Call of Duty on the Switch. Don't do that. Everyone's going to be mad. You're going to be mad. People playing against you are going to be mad.
Yeah.
Either that or they're going to be farming you for free.
People on your team's going to be mad.
Definitely mad.
Yeah. Don't.
Would they have cross-platform?
Yeah. Actually, I think they do. Yeah.
I genuinely don't know. Last time I played,
I know PC and console. PC and consoles can play with each other if I recall correctly. So. So yeah. Yeah. Don't play Call of Duty. Just don't.
Love yourself instead.
Love yourself instead. Buy good games that are on the Switch. How about that?
Splatoon. There you go. If you want to shoot stuff, Splatoon.
yeah, no joke.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Hell, fucking Fire Emblem Engage. Like, come on. Yeah. Actually, no. Metroid Prime Remaster.
Oh yeah.
That was that I've seen Max play that. That looks really good.
I was genuinely blown away that they shadow dropped that.
Yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't like leaked. That's what I'm actually surprised about. I'm surprised there wasn't any leaks.
True.
So I saw this, and is it just a part of Respawn turning into Wildlight Entertainment, or is Respawn turning into Wildlight Entertainment?
Okay, so the article says in the basically description of the article, Wildlight Entertainment is a new studio helmed by ex-Respawn Entertainment employees. So yes, it's from ex-Respawn.
It's folks. Yeah, it's folks that have left.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's
and this
cool.
does follow of the news that we had last time about Apex Legends Mobile getting shut down and projects getting cancelled.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're probably off to do other things.
I never thought about that because I didn't. we heard that the games were shut down. It never occurred to me that people would probably also let go that were a part of the project, because I mean
Mm-hmm.
everyone's a contractor, no one's an employee. So
Yeah.
it is likely, yeah, that people would probably let go, and that they also joined up in this new organization. That said, Respawn makes some really really good games. I don't always love them, but they always seem to do well. And I know people want, if not an actual new Titanfall game, at least a spiritual successor. So
Yeah, there was
love.
a meet the team page on the website, right? And it's like this new studio is helmed by Chad Grenier, who was in Respawn for about 11 years. He
Hmm.
worked on Apex Legend and also Titanfall 1 and 2.
And two, yeah.
Yeah, they had the release a tweet. They have their own Twitter now. Hooray! World Light Entertainment. It says, "Hello world. We're very excited today to announce our new game studio, Wildlight Entertainment. We've got big dreams of creating an epic shooter IP."
Hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can't say I'm
maybe an
surprised,
actual
but
Titanfall successor. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know Respawn's probably not doing that anymore. So I
Nope.
think they're just gonna keep doing Apex, and then they're gonna keep doing Star Wars, because they've it's the only good Star Wars game that's come out in like decades.
I mean, Respawn,
Mm.
like we say a lot, but like we are focused on shooters, and it is mostly because that's their bread and butter.
Mhm.
Titanfall 1 was amazing. Titanfall 2 was also amazing, despite some of the issues it had at the back end of it. The failure of those games are not due to Respawn. That is due to mismanagement. Apex is quite possibly one of the most competent shooting games on the market right now,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
depending on which flavor of first-person shooter you like. And they also did the Medal of Honor stuff, Above and Beyond. So,
Mm.
like, this is their pedigree. It's no surprise to see that they're going to work on another, and there shouldn't be any surprise when it comes out. And it is fantastic. But
Yeah.
also, current Respawn is working on Jedi Fallen Order and the follow-up, and it's going to be great. So, good times all around.
Mm.
Jedi Survivor.
Survivor.
Survive.
Yeah. Yeah. This one you're being deliberately chased by the Empire. But you have to apparently going to be more thriller-esque, which
Well, yeah, the main character of Jedi, all those two Jedi games. Survivor, he is not only he was being chased by Inquisitors and stuff because it's just after like the Clone Wars and stuff, right? So now Jedi being hunted down.
mhm.
Survivor, he looks older. He's getting a beard now. He finds someone in a tube,
Yeah.
uh, getting healed up. We don't know if he's Jedi or Sith or just a Force sensitive person. We don't know. It's a mystery, but is seen later on in that trailer, right? Looking like he's working with bad folks. I don't know.
Hmm.
We don't know what
Yeah.
the relationship is.
Yeah, I just know that like when they announced this game that it was going to be more akin to like the last like 5 minutes of Jedi Fallen Order,
Yeah,
where you're being chased by Darth Vader. So
yeah, yeah.
which was really cool.
That's
Um,
terrifying.
it was
It's
great.
great.
It was great. Yeah,
He will kill you.
you
He
don't get
will.
you don't get to see very many shots of Darth Vader actually being badass. You have
Yeah.
that one scene in Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
and then you have that scene in Jedi Fallen Order.
I'm
But
just
yeah.
gonna put this out there. Literally, his introduction
Yeah.
is one
No,
of the
yeah, I mean,
scariest goddamn things ever.
yeah,
Terrifying.
He's
true.
like a slasher villain, carving
Yeah.
his way through the
Well,
resistance.
the ending scenes in Rogue One too is that corridor fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
the same one.
terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh Blizzard stuff. Yeah. So Blizzard said that they were proud of Mike Ybarra's leadership. But this was after his not so stellar company-wide meeting where he was asked a bunch of questions. And then for an example, and his answers for them was that he was asked about them slashing the profit sharing bonuses down to like 58%, and he was like, "Yeah, if you think the executives are making a lot of money and you aren't, you're living a myth."
That's such a weird stance to take,
It is.
considering we know for a fact that is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be a company-wide FAQ that's supposed to
Mhm.
alleviate any worries and allow the staff to ask the people working above them, questions. It's supposed to be something that makes everyone feel better about working for Blizzard. And they
Mhm.
say shit like this.
And like, so the drop in this bonus, it affects all employees or whatever, but it
Yeah.
has it has a greater impact on employees that have a lower salary.
It's
Yeah,
just
of
how
course.
money works. If you make less, you're getting even less. If you make
Yeah.
as much as an executive is known to make, it hurts you a whole lot less because of all that extra stuff you have stashed away. Like, this is so strange for him to say, for him to imply
Mm-hmm.
that he is hurt in the same way, or that all executives are hurt in the same way as
Mhm.
everyone else, and that they don't have a clear advantage monetarily in the organization.
Yeah, and we all had hopes about Mike Ybarra, but like his stance on some of this stuff was really weird because at the end of the at the end of pretty much at the end of like the whole thing, he says at the end of the day, we want people to be happy, and if decisions about being happy don't align with where you are going, and and you won't be happy, then you have to do what makes you happy, which is implying that if you don't like these changes, then
You should
leave
leave.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
awful.
it should be noted this triggers from the fact that the work from home measures are soon going to be ending at Blizzard,
Yeah.
which
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of people are like, good, no, it's time to get back to work. But the upside is a lot of this work doesn't require that.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, not to mention other comments that may or may not have been made about QA and the status of people who work in QA.
Yeah.
That one's currently being disputed by Blizzard, but the initial work from home stuff ending is I'm not surprised to see people take that rough.
I mean,
But
like,
Yeah.
with the cut in wages and stuff as well, or bonuses, sorry. It also like people save money by staying home.
Mm-hmm. They don't have to commute. They don't have to pay gas. They don't have to
Yeah.
pay any type of transportation or whatever.
Uh-huh.
They get to stay home. But now that they're going to be making less money and then being forced um to have the expense of having to go to work when they really shouldn't have to if they can do all of the work at home. Um, yeah,
I mean,
just making their life a lot harder.
real quick, devil's advocate. I
Yeah.
suppose the idea is security, which the stuff at Blizzard might be better kept, but I don't foresee people willy nilly leaking things and risking their job. It happens, but it's all things considered not very frequent.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side is Blizzard trying to justify having these big, expensive um, offices in prime locations be
Yeah.
empty. And so, yeah, I think this is kind of like a selfish, well, we're paying for this, we're going to get our money's worth out of it more than
Yeah, for
anything.
sure.
But I don't think it's necessary. I think it hurts morale, and I think
Mm-hmm.
you could be set up to, I mean, just be a good place to work at for a change. But God forbid Blizzard do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not in the year 2023. Can't be done.
Yeah. And Activision Blizzard spokesperson came out and said, Blizzard stands by each of the statements that Mike Ybarra said, and we are proud of his leadership and in tough moments. And then there's a bunch of like people that either work for Blizzard or work in the gaming industry that have come out and said, they've never been more disappointed in like the show of the leadership that Mike Ybarra has been doing lately. So
Yeah,
I mean, we all had hopes for him.
Mike Ybarra's going to catch a lot of flack that isn't necessarily his fault, but I mean,
Yeah.
it comes with the pay.
Territory. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, Blizzard, I mean, is unfortunately in a position where leadership hasn't looked good, and if you are the face of that leadership, it's hard to say we think. Sorry, it's hard for us as consumers to take Blizzard saying we think the leadership under Mike Ybarra has been good, with literally the company falling apart.
Yeah.
At least falling apart in terms of perception, and certainly falling apart morally.
It sucks, but I mean, I mean, it's like par for the course with Blizzard. They just they do nothing but catch L's. So because
unfortunate.
they're literally nothing but L's. So like I mean I feel for the people that work for Activision Blizzard. I understand working for a company that's this prolific is something that you've always wanted to do or whatever. And there might be a point in time where it gets a hell of a lot better at that company, but man, you guys are the real chance for like sticking it through all this shit. Not gonna lie, it sucks.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
We have one more bit of news. And Leak as the dark and darker spokesperson of this podcast.
Of this podcast, yeah.
Yeah, of this podcast.
Very specific.
Yeah.
Of this podcast. I'm not officially.
Yeah, not official.
Okay.
I'll pass it to you.
Thank you. So, it's a bit, I know, tricky in the sense that a lot of this is coming from the Korean side of the industry and community. There isn't much, actually very little about this in English. So it's a lot of like pulling from Korean articles and Google translating it, right? First time I heard about this, there was a well-known Dark and Dark player who also is like a content creator much longer than I for Dark and Darker. He actually works closely with the dev team and stuff as well. He's called One Peg on YouTube, or one word. He posted a video that titled Nexon, who is the or who is Nexon? Actually, I'll explain that first. Nexon. Actually, Aqua would know them for DNF. You know, dungeons
I know they're from DNF. Fucking
yeah.
Elsword.
Blade and Soul, Elsword.
Yeah. Maple Story.
Maple Story. Too, right?
Yeah, Maple Story. Yeah.
They're a big Korean publisher / developer.
Yeah. Their headquarters are currently in Japan, but yeah, they were established in Seoul, South Korea, 1994. But yeah, currently based in Japan. But yeah, they are a big publisher who practically all of the Iron Mace staff. The Iron Mace is the developer of Dark and Darker. They used to work for Nexon. So that's where this is coming from. So the title of the video is Nexon claims Dark and Darker was a stolen IP. That's fucking huge.
That's very big.
That's very big. So this is, of course, just a YouTube video. It's very click, like what's going on type of thing. Draw people to watch it, right? So he got all the information, and it's practically just reading this from a Korean article. So what I'll do instead is not really refer to this video, but I will actually just read the article because that's where the source is for this video. So it makes sense. Just read the article. So the article, originally in Korean, this is translated, so the wording might not be fully accurate. I do apologize. But the title in English is Hottest Steam Game, Dark and Darker. Actually, Nexon Project, ? So the article says, translated, The reporter is Kim Jae-suk. So thank you for this article. The dungeon crawler Dark Darker is gaining popularity on Steam. It is a game in which 16 players aim to enter a dungeon, collect equipment and treasure, and escape the dungeon through battle. The game is scheduled for an early access release in April 2023 and has collected over 100,000 concurrent users even during the test phase. When news came out that the game was from a Korean developer, expectations grew. However, there were suspicions that leaked out little by little right after the game was released. Among the developers, there are members who have been disciplined and fired from Nexon, and they are making games using the materials and assets they worked on while working at Nexon. Disciplinary dismissal is a higher level action that warning and pay cut or suspension, and means that the labor contract is terminated due to reasons attributed to the employee. As a result of coverage by This Is Game, which is, I think, the website, it is confirmed that the article came from, that is. It is confirmed that the original idea and prototype of Dark and Darker was actually the project titled P3, created by Nexon's new development headquarters. The core developers who used to make games at Nexon were making a new game by setting up a startup called Iron Mace. So what it means, basically, because I'm literally just reading the article. So there was a project called P3 that was being developed by Nexon, and the people at Iron Mace were working on it. So on August 5th, 2021, Nexon announced Project P3 at a media showcase. According to the announcement, the game was a first-person adventure in which players cooperatively explored a medieval fantasy dungeon. In a short video, there was a scene where a locked door was opened and a rare reward was obtained. At the time, Lee Jong-hun, CEO of Nexon Korea, said at the showcase, "We will nurture and discover more than 10 super IPs that will support Nexon for the next 50 years. Project P3 was one of them." And there's actually screenshots in the article. So if you open the article, actually, I'll just share this link with you too, so you can have a looky. And we'll share the link also in the video description, of course. So I've just posted it now. If you scroll down, there's screenshots of Project P3, and it is exactly like Dark and Darker. It is the same dungeon.
Yeah.
The characters themselves are different. But you see the UI is pretty much the same.
Yeah, no, this is
Yeah,
this
UI
is,
is exactly
the left image is P3, the right image is Dark and Darker. It says under the pictures.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can see. And also like so maybe the dungeon itself is slightly different asset because the textures are different. I don't recognize this corridor at all, but it could be a different thing. The floored texture is different. But yeah, this is like the way the top right, you have the information, and then you have like the map's different. But yeah, anyway, UI is different, but there are striking similarities, I will say. You can look for yourself. We will post a link. However, the Project P3 was pivoted to P7, a different project. In March 2022, you can check the contents of Project P3 through an interview with Dae-hwan Kim, Vice President of Nexon's new development headquarters. At the time, Vice President Kim said, "We did pivoting once while maintaining the team members. The code name was changed to P7. What we first envisioned for P7 is a game that mixes PvP and PvE, admitted. PvE is based on farming, but you can compete with other players at any time. And the tension of dropping and stealing the resources you gather through PvP is fun. Away resources that we accumulated through PvP." It means take resources, steal resources, that kind of thing. Yeah. This is, like I said, translated directly from Korean. So prior to this, in September 2021, Nexon announced that the recruitment of a planner specializing in firearms or specifications of firearms or P7, and the main task was introduced as collecting data on actual firearm appearances, characteristics, shooting procedure, posture, and so on to use firearms. Basically, the P7 game would be more Tarkov based, like with actual guns and stuff.
Yeah, like how Dark and Darker is.
Yeah, it is basically a Tarkov game, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
around this time, the nature of the project seems to have changed from a medieval dark fantasy to survivor adventure using firearms. Let's see. So there's more P3 screenshots underneath that paragraph. And there's so there's more screenshots. There's a magic user in the other screenshot. Okay, so Iron Mace CEO Park Terrence Seung-ah, which is running the Dark and Darker test on Steam until today, February 2nd, that was the previous one, as a corporate incorporation datus. I'm not quite sure what that means. According to the company profile on Iron Mace's website, it is a merry band of veteran game developers who have become disillusioned with exploitive and greedy practices and are professionals who have worked on many hits in Korea. So yeah, you can go to Iron Mace's website actually and see their basically their goal statement and stuff. So it has about 25 employees that are working there. Their first game is Dark and Darker, named on Steam's most played game and trending games. It's very popular. It's actually very popular.
Yeah.
Summarizing the coverage of this magazine was this According In, I think I'm a smeared magazine, title. The core developers of P3 are the same as the core developers of Dark and Darker. This team was maintaining a small size in accordance with Nexon's big and little ethos. After leaving Nexon, they created Dark and Darker using the core of P3, but they are suspected of leaking Nexon's assets to the outside in violation of confidentiality and security oaths, NDA, during the process. In the past, they were caught trying to take key data such as game codes, resources, and development documents out of the company. Cheating at those involved were disciplined by Nexon. So they have been accused, according to this article, of previously leaking codes and stuff, and basically taking the codes and some assets from from P3 and using it in Dark and Darker. And they are also the same people who are working on it in Nexon as well. That's what the article is saying. After the punishment, some developers left Nexon, and it is concluded that the new development headquarters is continuing to develop P7 by utilizing the core idea of the game. So they're still using the core ideas P3 were using, but the Nexon is continuing to make P7, which will be more, not medieval. So it appears that not all personnel left for Iron Mace. So there's still people that used to be in the P3 team now working on P7, but didn't leave the company.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Iron Mace worked as a Nexon employee and used the woven code and assets outside of Nexon, this could violate trade secrets and confidentiality, basically NDA. In the past, there is a similar aspect to the dispute between NCSoft and Bluehole over Terra, and the argument that the Laysoft's project, NCSoft's Project Delight, was the same as Lion Games, Soul Worker, Terra, and the debate. Basically, there has been similar stuff that's happened in the past with other companies, Terra Online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know about that. Also, actually, funny enough, I was playing. I was playing the Super People. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was talking about that one time.
Yeah.
I was watching someone play PUBG, and it's exactly the same. Even the same assets and the UI and stuff. Was like, Super People, what are you doing? Anyway, they're both Korean as well, aren't they?
I think
God.
PUBG is actually Chinese.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
PUBG is Chinese, yeah.
I
It's
see, I
like Blue
see.
Point.
Yeah. All right. Blue Point actually might be, well, not Blue Hole. Anyway, anyway, this is translated. But yeah, I was struck by how similar they were as well. But that's not an accusation. That's just whoa. Iron Mace has conducted several interviews with overseas internet broadcasters.
No, yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
so
It is Blue Hole.
it is Blue Hole. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
This next paragraph is talking about the content creators Iron Mace has been working closely with, but has not responded to requests from domestic media. So it hasn't. Iron Mace has not been answering questions that when people ask them about this situation, but they have
Mhm.
been talking to some content creators. One Peg doesn't seem to have, at the time of this video recording, tried to contact Iron Mace staff to talk about this, but they didn't respond at the time. And I'll follow up with why in a moment. In response to the magazine's request for coverage, Iron Mace said, "Ah, we are not conducting direct interviews with the media. For the time being, we'll focus on developing both the company and the game to strengthen our eternal stability." Nexon has considered legal action in the case, but appears to be considering how to respond after Dark and Darker became popular on Steam. Because they know, obviously, they'll become the bad guys if they tell them to take Dark and Darker down,
Oh
right?
yeah, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
if you look on OnePeg's video responses as well, the same thing. Even before I even looked into this, I was like, oh wow, well, it can't be that similar, right? I didn't even look at the article at the time, and now I am. That's why I was doing a lot of updates in my reply. But yeah, lots of people saying, oh, Nexon is a huge corporate thing, and they always copy shit anyway as well. And who really copies a game concept? And it's like, uh, you know, really, when games always mimic each other and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I
Mimic,
understand.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand both sides because it's a really cool game, but at the same time, as working in a game development myself, you can't just take things when projects are scrapped. It is really fucking frustrating, but you have to have standards as well, right? As a professional. So it's like,
Mhm.
oh, and So this whole thing is tearing me apart. Oh god. Okay, so all right. First of all, the previous versions of the project's direction change has attracted many users' expectations. This is like I said, this is direct translation stuff. So I'm sorry if this doesn't make sense. This is directly admitting that it was a mistake that Nexon's new development headquarters did not continue to develop P3. So basically, this the thank you's trying to say Iron Mace was clearly didn't like that Nexon stop working on P3. I think that's what he's trying to say. If you start a legal and Nexon understands that, realizing that Dark and Darker actually became really popular, and maybe they are feeling like they made the mistake of dropping it. But now it goes on to say, if you start a legal battle, you must take responsibility for proving the basis. So Nexon really needs to prove that
Mhm.
Dark and Darker, or at least some aspects of it, like the code or whatever, is the stuff that they were working on too. So they need to provide hard proof. They do. They need to hard proof for court.
For
So
sure.
Nexon's new development division, that was a mistake in not continuing to promote what? I'm not sure what that says. Continue to promote the development of P3, also evidence. So they need to prove that they were going to continue development of P3 as well. I think that's trying to say, not just canning it completely,
Mhm.
or maybe that since they do have employees that used to work on P3 still in the company, that they can provide evidence. In addition, because positive public opinion prevails in Dark and Darker, Nexon may take a countermeasure and cause problems. It will be interesting to see. It seems that they will have to be held have to be held as noteworthy, and what kind of relationship Iron Mace will establish with Nexon in the future. However, until now, it seems impossible not to hold them morally responsible. Yeah, so it's going to be hard for Nexon to take any action because like I said, they don't want to seem like the bad guy, even though this. And a lot of people are siding with Iron Mace because they like simply because Dark and Darker is fun,
Mm-hmm.
I
and they
mean,
don't
but
want the game
also
taken
Nexon
away.
has a horrid track record
Yes, it's
in
Yes,
true.
this
they do.
regard. Yeah.
They do. So that like Nexon's reputation already isn't great. So this is a sticky situation.
It's pretty bad for them, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't think it would be this complicated, but hearing it as it is, it's actually going to be really difficult for them to do anything. If
It
they've
is.
canned the project, and it looks like they have,
Yeah.
and they're already late to producing, if they were going to continue it, they're late to producing anything, whereas if the Iron Mace crew has stolen any assets, they immediately put out a project. Not saying that's right of them, but I
Mhm.
am saying it does play into this legal problem that Nexon finds itself in.
Yes. Agreed.
Wow.
It's so sticky. So iMace introduced themselves with expressions such as "I've seen firsthand how game companies sell their souls to easily for easy payday, and I'm disappointed to see that instead of giving gamers pleasure, they become more like casinos." So basically, feeding into player worries, like respectively, and honestly, even I also worry about games becoming just cash grabs and not actually fun,
Yeah.
and just feeding on players.
Mhm.
Is it FOMO as well? Just
Mm-hmm.
feeding on
Fear of
people's
missing
feelings
out.
of missing it. Yeah. So the global franchise encompassing passionate fans of the East and the West, they create the project created by the same game team and created by the same company are suspected of using the code and assets created by the game company. I don't know what this is. A screenshot from. This seems to be a screenshot that has been written by the Iron Mace team, but it's all in Korean, so I can't read it, and that was apparently a translation of it. This might
I
be an
think
updated article
I think
and
I think this might be like probably it might be the same the same
statement.
message, the same statement that we have the Discord statement from
Yeah.
one of the other
So
Right.
people
this
from
is
Iron
yeah,
Mace.
this seems to be an update actually on this article. So I will go on because iMace did respond officially in the
Mm-hmm.
Discord and also on the Twitter, I do believe. But they made an announcement addressing this article. So I'll read it now. This is iMace. I want to address certain rumors that have been started to circulate and reassure Dark and Darker fans that absolutely no stolen assets or code were used to make our game. Our code was built from scratch. Most of our assets were purchased from the Unreal Marketplace. All other assets and all game design docs were created in house. This has already been audited by our outside agency. As far as we know, you cannot copyright a game genre. Regarding
True.
the lawsuit, we consider it a separate personal matter claimed on one of our team members. No lawsuit has been filed against Iron Mace. Regardless, we believe in our teammate and we look forward to the resolution of their personal matter. They don't go into what it is. Building
Mm-hmm.
games is hard enough without all the rumors and distractions of our industry. This is why we choose to handle matters privately in respect to our peers in our industry. We've reached out through our back channels and do not believe the recent rumors were intentional and believe they are likely due to a disgruntled third party. For now, this will be our final statement on this matter. We are ready to defend if necessary, but we prefer to focus our energy on bettering our craft. We have a lot of work ahead of us for the next playtest, and we'll let our work do the talking. Finally, we would like to thank you for all our fans for their kind support. You are the sole motivation to build bigger and better. As always, our aim is to stay directly and openly engaged with you. Thank you for your support, and we hope to see you in the dungeon soon. Okay, so me stepping back, just watched the video, realizing there's actually an announcement. I thought, oh, actually, this is a great statement. They want to just handle it privately. Don't want rumors spreading, misinformation coming out and stuff. And they want to continue working on the project that everyone loves. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, that's pretty
Mm.
good. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Then, yeah. See, then that's when it became more complicated for me, Aqua and Dollar. Why does it happen to me?
Yeah,
So
I can
yeah,
understand.
someone so a Korean community member, having seen my own comment on OnePeg's video, started talking to me. I was like, oh, okay. At first, they seemed a bit aggravated by what everyone was saying, instantly defending Iron Mace and not really thinking about it on terms of how it affects the game industry for when this stuff happens and how it affects the community when this stuff happens and the development of indie games and stuff like that, right? I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, are you okay?" So I tried to, just diplomatically just ask them, "Have you seen the update of the iMace devs? What they've said?" And they said yes, and they replied, and they started going on again. I'll just read you the replies because they are interesting. Now, I will say again, this is a Korean person talking to me, so this English is their second language, so
Mm.
the English isn't perfect, but they were very polite and
Hmm.
did try to explain. So I will go from did you see the update? So they seemed aggravated still at this point, but after the next reply by me, they do come down and fully explain. So, so most burglars don't admit their crimes, so you should judge by evidence. Nexon had seen the same project. Devs of Dark and Dark were in that team. Their testimony of devs were in those teams um, were the director and architect. Uh, they said their new investor they said they had a new investor and then they said, let's go make the new company. Even that update is suspicious, saying we didn't use same assets nor we didn't have those in the project, meaning they admitting they're aware of using same game concept and all. They used Nexon's money to develop most of the game and replace assets. And it was like, okay. I was like, please, let's calm down. You want to say something to me because I understood like the English wasn't their first language.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So I explained. As far as we all know, in the art, we all just know from our side the article linked and the statement by IMACE. Do you have more information? I asked them. I would like to investigate and learn more about the situation. Thank you. Because I realized they seem to have more knowledge about it, being that they were talking about me talking or saying stuff that I didn't know what they were talking about. So I asked them to elaborate basically. And then they said, sorry, I'm Korean and there's more info on Korean communities.
Mhm.
Basically, on in Korea there's more information about it because it's basically, all this is all coming out from Korea first. There's co-workers testimonies recruiting of the Dark and Darker while project of Nexon was going on, and more info about development steps of game mechanisms and how the project got licked. They used Git and work at home, so that's how they got resources so easily. And I'm not so expert about game development, but they had only 1 year before releasing Tarkov, the P7 game.
Mhm.
Right.
Nexon's project started 2019, P3. Using Git was decided by director who's now in Iron Mace. He also decided to buy assets while developing Nexon's project so it could make it easier to replace for Dark and Darker. Okay. So I was like, oh, okay. He continued. Or they continued. Problems about this director is said personal issue by Iron Mace. I can't translate whole thing, which they were getting their information from,
Yeah.
but there's detailed testimony of level design of Dark and Darker. Most ugly problem is that this could end up being just that. Iron Mace fires some employees, say sorry, and just move on because it's copyright. It's very subtle problem and very hard to prove. That's why I'm so angry for this incident. It's jeopardizing the whole Korean game industry for making game companies doubt devs, developers, might copyright and espionage and prove anything. So what he's saying is he's worried about how this will affect the game industry. It'll make companies doubt their game developers. They make them more worried that they'll take and rip games and just go off and do
Yeah.
uh, 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 what people suspect Iron Mace have done.
Mhm.
So that's no good. And that's the buzz right now in the Korean community. Um, And they're worried that games won't get, indie games won't get invested, and smaller game ideas won't get invested any longer, and they'll just keep making shitty blah blah blahs. Because they also said that they don't like Nexon as well in general, but this is what they're worried about.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So so I say, thank you for taking the time to explain. The non-Korean community has very little information about the gaming industry news in your country, so the article and the video was the first time we heard about it. Do you have any links to Korean news sites talking about the situation? Thank you again. They said main source of this information is from employee community members from who still work in Nexon, basically. But they are being anonymous right now because they are worried. So it's yet to be what? So it's yet to be article calls basically they're saying it's yet to be, so they don't have hard evidence because they're trying to stay anonymous. And development process is kind of internal information, and it's only only behalf of Nexon's side, so might never be there. So they might not even come out officially. Might capture this timeline, but hard to translate. Sorry, I can't be more helpful. So then, I think that's all they say. Yeah, that's all they say.
Shout out to that
Yeah.
person for trying to
They
pass some
They
information.
tried their best to explain it to me. So what I'm gonna do is probably try to look up more of this as well. I'll probably try and contact more people about it too. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
Sounds like a plan.
So yeah, there's like timeline stuff as well. That's fair enough. Has been mentioned in in One Peg's video too. So for P7, there was a job listing. That job listing, about the firearm stuff. That was September 2021. And then IMACE was officially established in October 2021. Then there's stuff like, so I was actually scrolling the whole thing to see if there's any more information about it. Because sometimes community members, they know more and just pop in the links and stuff. But I did see that someone had said, when you save clips in Dark and Darker on Shadowplay, it saves a clip in a folder called Dungeon Crawler. And they went, uh-oh. And then someone replied, when the game crashes, that's that's what the executable is called as well. I was like, oh, that's an interesting tidbit.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I was rereading that, but this game for the Nexon side, I mean, it wasn't called, it wasn't there wasn't a code name called Dungeon Crawler or whatever. This could just be what Iron Mace
Yeah,
also
it's true.
calls it. It could just be code Dungeon Crawler.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's what it is. It's a dungeon crawler.
Yeah. It's a genre, right?
Yeah.
So I want Dark and Darker to be okay because, like I said, selfishly, I love playing it so much, and the stuff that's happened so far has been fun and good choices. That's the player side of me. The industry side of me is it's gonna make people doubt devs' integrity. If this is the case that this happened, I don't want it to be true though. I want the Iron Mace to be, good,
well,
good
okay.
developers.
So what we can immediately gather. Yes.
Yeah.
These Iron Mace devs did come from Nexon. Yes, they're probably using the idea of the game that they were working on over at Nexon to make Dark and Darker. That's 100%. There's they can't you can't deny that.
No real argument about that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The only question is if they're using one assets and two code from what they got over at Nexon. Now they're stating that they purchased assets wise, they purchased that from the Unreal Engine store, which I mean it's believable because I mean you can buy a bunch of assets from the Unreal Engine store.
And people have confirmed. I think they actually searched for these assets on the store as well to find it, so they have.
Yeah.
The statement also says by Iron Mace that they made this code from scratch as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now that's gonna be a lot trickier to
prove.
to
Yeah.
prove. The only way that somebody's going to be able to prove that is when here's one thing, all right?
Yeah.
The next playtest for Dark and Darker, I guarantee you, is going to take a lot longer than between the first playtest that you played and this current playtest. And the one reason being, if they are using code from Nexon, they're changing it 100%. They're immediately changing it because
yeah. But there is also already, before this came out, they did say that the early access will be April.
April.
So
I want to say they're going to push that back.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, because for one, nobody has access to Dark and Darker anymore, so they can't check. They actually can't check the code for Dark and Darker at the moment. All right.
Yeah.
If they are using code from Nexon, they're going to 100% push that back and change as much code as they can for that, because when the playtest does come out, immediately people are data mining it. Immediately people are data mining it 100% and looking for the code and looking for code that and it's definitely going to be people from Nexon that also test this out to see if they are using the code for it. So if it does get pushed back, if the playtest does get pushed back, I go ahead and that's a kind of a soft confirmation that they are using code. If it doesn't get pushed back, then I guess we have some.
We feel better.
Yeah, we feel a little bit better about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, really, I really want this to be okay, guys.
No, it's always so heartbreaking when when your game is on the top list. No, not mine.
Yeah,
not
my game. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because I want this game to be successful because I mean I enjoyed playing it when we played it before. I wasn't too big into Tarkov because I'm not good at shooter games or whatever. But like a medieval Tarkov where you're dungeon crawling and like just melee fighting a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I'm fantasy setting gives a lot of ambiance.
I'm fairly into that. So I'm definitely hoping that Iron Mace isn't doing anything scummy with like pulling code from Nexon. But again, I mean, like all I can say is they're obviously using their previous employment from Nexon to make this game, because they're like, okay, well, if Nexon isn't going to make this game, then we will make this code. We will do it from scratch and make it ourselves, because obviously this game. They're like a fine, I'll do it myself type thing.
You can't copyright a genre. Ideas is hard to prove. Even though the screenshots are pretty damn close, I said,
here's the thing.
I said, PUBG and Super People are fucking too close as well. So
I mean, there's a lot of games that look like Call of Duty.
Yeah,
all right, but they're not using the same code.
I know. This is what I was going with. This is where I was going with. So yeah. So I will say once again, this is the article and the video and what I've seen and read from the Korean community. That's all we've had the information for. I will be keeping my eyes open for any actual evidence. This is all like he said, she said right now. And we are hoping Dark and Darker is not because of that. We want the devs to be innocent. Okay, so
for sure.
And if they aren't innocent, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that.
Don't want to think about that.
We'll get there if we get there.
And like last thing, this could easily be Nexon seeing how popular Dark and Darker is being, and they're like, they're like, God damn it, we should have done it. We should have done this game. So because they're like Iron Mace, they're definitely from us or whatever. They're just really pissed that they're doing what they wanted, that they're doing what they said.
Yeah, they're just pissed they made the bad call.
They're just pissed they made the bad call. But that's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
Okay. But we'll see. We'll see.
Deep
We'll
breath.
see.
Yeah,
We will see in April. We will see in
we'll see
April.
in April.
Yeah.
That is a good point. So deep breath. I was panicking about this. I was like,
Yeah. I know Leek's like, I'm
I
a
was so
content creator
anxious.
for this game and I really love this game and everything.
Yeah.
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 I
So
understand.
yeah. That's all I have to say on that.
Well, that's all we have for this week. Yeah, that's all the news we have this week. Actually, except that there's a slight update to the state of play
Oh, do tell.
thing that people wanted fuck, I actually literally just had it and I think I lost it.
Oh,
Fuck
amazing.
me. Yeah. So pretty much what I don't have the link anymore. I'll have to find it again, but I remember what it was saying. They wanted to clarify what is all going to be within the state of play. There is 16 games specifically being shown in the state of play, and I finally found it. It's from Gematsu update. PlayStation blog Japan clarifies over the course of 45 minutes. We will showcase new reveals and latest information of gameplay for 16 new titles across the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation VR 2. 5 of these PlayStation games will be PlayStation VR VR 2 games, and then one of those games is obviously the 15 minutes of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That leaves 10 unknown non-VR games from third-party developers.
Wait. You said 16 games? 16. 16.
Oh, man.
True.
Very good. Very good.
True. But yeah, for that state of play, it'll be February 23rd, which will be the day that this episode will air if I am not lazy tomorrow night and stuff like that. This is going to be like a 2-hour episode. Anyway, or just under a 2-hour episode. Anyway, what is the plans for this week?
I'm going to go watch the Kazuya trailer like 6 more times because it's so sick.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Kazuya's in Tekken 8, guys. I mean, who would have known?
Dude,
who would have thought? Oh, my
God. News, but, my God, like, people give Tekken 7 crap for looking so old, completely forgetting that game's like 13 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, we got a new, better-looking cast, new voiceover, which is great because they're not just using the stuff from, I think, as far back as Tekken 5, Tekken 6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, they sound great. They look great. My computer's gonna explode playing this with all the particle effects. Oh my God, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, I will probably continue just doing random endgame stuff in 10. I will almost certainly be doing more Arknights, and I will at some point, no doubt, break this week and pick up Wild Hearts. We'll see though.
Duck's gonna continue being a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Steadily, you're just gonna play Skyrim. You're just
so.
gonna play a 2011 video game. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, I respect you only saying Skyrim because of how much time.
I got
that
friends trying to
steal
get
from
me
you.
to download PUBG, and I don't want to.
Do not download PUBG.
Oh man, of all the battle royales, why PUBG? That thing's like just
I know.
known for having an aggressive amount of cheaters in it.
Yeah,
don't
do not download PUBG. I've played PUBG.
Just continue playing Fortnite.
I have like 100 hours in PUBG.
Yeah.
All right, I can tell you how much fun PUBG is. With the right people, it is definitely kind of fun. But outside of that, it's not worth it. It's also jank. It's also jank.
Yeah, it does look a bit. I was watching them play. I was tempted to just check in on Yu-Gi-Oh because it's the anniversary of it coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so pleased you saw what I linked you in.
I know. That's hilarious.
My goodness, I loved it.
And it like hat tip to the person that was playing all those cars because they read them
Sakuna
out.
was just being ridiculous.
I know.
Reading it like the anime.
Very funny. That's it.
All right. God, what am I gonna do? I mean, I'm gonna watch the Kirk on a Basket movie sometime this week. With the I just downloaded the Sea of Stars demo on Switch. I want to try that out. Sea of Stars.
No. What is Sea of Stars again?
Oh, it is a pixel graphics JRPG.
Okay.
It's made by the same developers that did The Messenger.
Yeah, by Sabotage.
Yeah, it looks nice. I know the music is by Yasunori Matsuda. So
okay.
So or some of the music is at least. It is, it's a turn-based RPG, a JRPG, and has or at least RPG. It has apparently some of the attacks have like a kind of a rhythm to it, like a kind of like I guess in God, what's that game? Eternal Sonata, where you have like rhythm beats to it. So I've been hearing a lot about it, so I'm gonna try it out. There's the demo on the Switch, so
let us know next week.
I will. And you know what? Maybe I'll finish Cold Steel 4 this week if I have time. My work week starts on Wednesday today, technically for me. So I will have at least one day off before we or actually technically 2 days off before we record next week. So maybe I'll get through it. I could easily beat where I'm go from where I'm at in a night.
Well, when you don't, we will meme on you for it.
Yeah, you're right. True. I have other games I'm playing, so. Actually, yeah. I mean, let's be real here. If you're gonna pick up Wild Hearts this week,
Wild Hearts, I'm gonna screw this up for you so much.
You pick up Wild Hearts, I'm most likely gonna be picking up Wild Hearts. I don't know when they're gonna have that performance patch, so they need to announce this performance
this week, but that
yeah.
could literally mean Sunday at 11 o'clock. So
yeah, this is true. This is true.
Well, Saturday because it would be their Sunday.
But yeah, who knows? I will if like I said, if you're gonna pick that up, I will most likely pick it up. I still don't know if I'll pick it up for PC. But since I could pick it up for PlayStation 5 and still play with you because it's cross-play.
Cross-play.
So that's good. And yeah, that's about all I have planned. Every night's different for me. I will look at my Steam. I have 200 to 300 games on there, and sometimes I just click one and download it. So that's just me and my
I can't
ADHD
tell you how
brain.
often I look at my full library on Steam, which is not as large as yours, and just go, all of these games and nothing to play.
I know all of these games and nothing to play, right? Totally. I mean, so
lying to myself.
If it wasn't for the fact that I've already been through Cold Steel 4 like 3 times already, I'd have probably have sat down and played it or whatever. But since I buy these games in Japanese and play them, and I still need to go through fucking Kuro 2. I'm in Act 3 of Kuro 2, so which is a long portion of the game, but it's still the second half. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. We're Perpetual I named this thing Perpetual Backlog for a reason. It's because I have a backlog and it's always perpetual. And with new games coming out, I'll just keep playing. So
facts.
Yeah. But yeah, if you made it to this far, which is just under or just over 2 hours, please hit that subscribe button and give us comments. I will probably name this episode "Is Dark and Darker Stolen from Nexon?" Who knows? Who knows? I'll just
take
bait
the
everybody to
link.
watch. Bait everybody to watch. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, yeah. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
Be good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Pray for Leak. Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely